And on this Friday, January 31st, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, today we air a conversation at the Washinton State Legislature in Olympia between 31st District Republican State Senator Phil Fortunato of Auburn and a member of the pro-life group Human Life of Washington to discuss their work in Olympia on a controversial chemical abortion bill. Senator Fortunato says the Democratic chair of the committee appears to have snubbed the organization during public testimony, not wanting to hear a contrary point of view.
Hi, I'm Senator Phil Fortunato. Today I'm here with Esther from Human Life of Washington. And what we want to discuss today is, are the pro-life voices really being heard here in Olympia? So many times people come down to testify on a bill and they want to get their voices heard and they sign in to testify, etc. And they are usually called up, especially if they're in attendance at the audience. And so, Esther, why don't you tell us what happened when you went to testify on this bill, SB 5321, which dealt with the effects of the chemical abortion pill?
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate the opportunity. I would like to know what happened. I followed all of the rules. Completely expecting to share my testimony on behalf of Human Life of Washington, the noted statewide expert, state affiliate of National Right to Life Committee, protecting human life since 1968. And yet my testimony was overlooked. I don't know why. I also had the inkling that what happened was we now have to post our testimonies online. There was a lot of details. We're the only organization that actually sided with notable groups like the FDA, the Federal Food and Drug Administration, U.S. Supreme Courts, full of citations, best available science, OBGYN groups, et cetera, et cetera. And so we are giving substantive content for consideration, and yet we did not have that opportunity. This is a sad, and mostly because women will not have that opportunity to have full disclosure of all the risks and complications. For example, I mentioned FDA. On the actual package, it has a black box warning saying that there's excessive risk of excessive bleeding, that infections can occur and needing surgical intervention. Now, contrary to the bill, SB 5321, what happened is they're actually stating in a number of places essential health care. More importantly, they say absolutely safe. And of course, we have data to the contrary. And so I feel that this was information that was inconvenient. And I'm very concerned because this was a key testimony missing.
Right. And I could tell you that the other side on this issue is hell-bent to make sure women do not know the risks of abortion. I remember last session or so, we had a bill that dealt with the risk of breast implants. And the Democrats spoke passionately about how the women have the right to know the risk of breast implants. So I said, hey, I agree with that. They have the right to know. Take that bill, crossed out breast implants, and insert in abortion. I ran the bill. How come that bill didn't get a hearing? And how come we consistently are blocking the ability to get reasonable data on what happens? Years ago, we used to be able to get the data on how many abortions there were, how many women stayed in a hospital more than 3 days, how many women were sterile because of abortions, how many women died, and how many abortion failures there were. Now, an abortion failure is where they try to terminate the abortion and the kid lives. So this is a very important issue, and we urge you to please get in touch with Human Life of Washington. If you want to come down and testify, coordinate with them. Come down, call my office. I'll be glad to help out. You could do a Zoom testimony, but it is important that your voice as a pro-life person be heard down here in Olympia.
More information is available at Senator Fortunato's office at 360-786-7660. That's 360-786-7660. And that's Newsmakers for this Friday, January 31st, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.